All right, Mr. Parker, come on up here with your lawyer. Give me 1 minute. So I'm sorry, this is going to be hard to hear, but listening to this and listening to this young lady die was one of the most chilling things I've ever heard. And I'm old and I've heard a lot. I've taken into consideration every single thing that was presented to me during the sentencing hearing, as well as taking judicial notice of the court file. And I'm very aware that my decision here will have an impact on both families. And I know that my decision here will have an impact on Mr. Parker's mom, his dad, his grandfather, his aunt, his cousin. I understand that. And, but as Mr. Skinner pointed out, one of the main reasons for it, or the main reason, is punishment. And the other one is the other ones besides deterrence is protection of the public. And so after considering all the evidence that has been presented here to me, including all the mitigation evidence that was presented to me, let me say that I am not going to take into consideration the recommendation of the probation officer in the PSI, nor am I going to take into consideration the recommendation from anyone who opined of what sentence I should impose. I'm going to take victim impact evidence for the uniqueness of the individual and the loss of her to her family. So as to count 1 and count 2, I'm going to adjudicate you guilty. I'm going to sentence you to life in prison without the possibility of parole, with a minimum mandatory of life in prison. I'm going to run the sentences in counts 1 and 2 concurrently with each other. I'm going to give you 464 days of credit against each of your sentences. And I'm going to impose normal court costs.
Yes, sir.
$518 in court costs plus $150 public defender lien, which I'll reduce to a civil judgment. You have 30 days to file a notice of appeal if you believe I've imposed an illegal sentence. And if you cannot afford an attorney for purposes of appeal, I'll appoint one for you. So the minimum mandatory is applied to both counts: life sentence without the possibility of parole, with a life minimum mandatory on each of the 2 counts to run concurrent. Anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We are in recess.